Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's going into a great weekend. And today I want to talk to you about collectors are actually killing collecting. Now, this may sound absurd, and Mike, you don't know what you're talking about. And I actually thought it was really odd the first time I heard this concept. But the more I dig into it, the more it really looks like a lot of collecting behaviors are actually killing collecting. And when you get to the last one, it'll put it all together. So, I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to lie. So let's get into talking about all these points on why collectors are killing collecting. Coming up. Okay, first thing is the price. Now, one of the things is that the price is high for a lot of reasons, but let me get into it. And I know it's Friday, so I talk about Masterpiece. Lots of Masterpiece. I'm just leading with this item here, which is just a bunch of reissues. We will have an issue of getting back to this issue of reissue here in a bit. But if you look at it, really, the only sought-after ones are ones that are the cheaper ones. You got to buy this stupid $89 set. Everybody can get their hands on an Ironhide, probably on clearance somewhere. But the other two are the ones that people are wanting, and you get juiced for 90 bucks. The fact that we buy it and we don't just say, let's wait for it to go on sale, stuff like that. This is an absolute ripoff. It is, because it's not like Ironhide's hard to get. And I'm not even speaking for myself on this. I'm hearing this from other collectors saying this. But we pay the price, no matter what it is. Now, I do understand when it comes to Masterpiece Transformers, it is going to be a higher price. There are far fewer made. Instead of in the 60, 70 to 100,000 range, they're 5,000. Or maybe even as high as 10,000, but probably not. Probably still in the $5,000 to $6,000 unit range. And so, yeah, we do see some higher prices because of that. But we do continue to pay them. We continue to pay them. Now, this is the Sovereign movie version. This is TF Source charging, well, as much as I guess they were charging for the 2.0, but everyone's dumping their Sovereign. Like, it's so strange to see the gouging that's going on. They still want 300 bucks for something that you can go get for like 150 to 200 on the secondary market, which is kind of odd, but yet we pay this price. We are part of this problem. We are part of the pricing problem. Fans Toys charging $100 for a mini-bot, I thought was crazy till I got my hands on their mini-bot. It's almost as big as a Takara car bot, almost completely in die-cast, covered in paint. It's worth $100. Now they're $130. I'm hoping closer to $100 at Showzi's store, because that's where all my pre-orders are at. But I used to occasionally pick up a spare from TF Source when they were $99 or $105. At $130, I'm not picking up a spare. And I was starting to get into getting an extra one for my son, but he's just going to have to deal with the studio series on this. Well, yeah, we paid the price. Now, I will say this, like, people give X-Transbots a lot of crap, but their stuff's more affordable. You're going to say, well, it's junk, it's trash. And I'll be honest, I think Fans Toys wins side by side against X-Transbots more often, and that's part of why they can charge a higher price. But X-Transbots wins because they go into markets that aren't being touched, like Omnibot market. Nobody's really touching that but them. The Runabout and Runamuck and all of that stuff. So yeah, they're doing some pretty good work, and I do like a lot of their figures, and I think they have a more affordable price. But if you're looking straight just price, yes, it is very expensive. Yes, $100 for one figure is a lot of money. $150 is a lot of money. But they do look pretty good. And yeah, I'm part of the problem. I pay the price for the stuff that I really, really want. And this is what I really, really want. And I'm passing on all that, almost all of that Hasbro stuff. Now, the next one here, I guess, is number 2. G1. We old people here, older people, I really don't feel old. I feel young at heart, and in my mind, and in my soul, and in my Transformers. G1. I am a G1er. I do like some stuff a little outside of the G1 spectrum there, and I actually do like the Beast Wars I like the show. I like the masterpiece, which again, price, more expensive stuff. Don't like the original toy line at all, really. There's very little in that I think they did well on. But when it comes to this, I'm part of the problem with this. And if you really look at it, I mean, G1 dominates still to this day. It is the root, it's the core. Now, if you were to add up all of the different eras, so if you were going to say everything else versus G1, I think everything else is equal to G1. So absolutely everything, the Bayverse, the Armada, the Cybertron, Beast Wars, all of that added together equals G1 in the size and scope of collectors. And with that, that's a temporary current right now. As we G1ers die off, those metrics will shift and will change. If you scroll through like BBTS and it's separated out by new and popular for the Studio Series mainline, what kids are going to see on the shelf, which we'll get back to that, it's G1. It is dominated by G1. What's coming out is still G1 dominated, and the G1 stuff still sells the most. What I see still sitting there is stuff that's not G1. It's just a fact. What I see at the store that's left is, I snap my pictures, I come back, the stuff is gone. I can't recreate some of these pictures, and I was going to go today and take pictures, but I can't recreate them because the stuff that I want to take pictures of is sold so fast. Sold out before I can even be back the next day, and I changed my mind on some of this stuff. So it sells quickly. G1, because we the collectors want the G1. A lot of other eras aren't getting as much representation. That's why G1ers like me get so much hate. Next up, I guess the third one is we're seeing these become way more complicated because of the demands that we have. We want perfection. We want it to look like it walked off the screen. We want everything to be perfect to our mind's eye from what we saw back in the day, which in a lot of cases is not really achievable. I mean, they're achieving it, but at what cost? At the cost of it being just a ridiculous transformation. And with this last one as a Calatrava, everybody was up in arms about. Now they're up in arms about another one, and we will be talking about that. I don't even pick on Fans Toys, and I'm not even picking on the Defensor. No, Devastator. What am I saying? Devastator. But it's other people in the community that, well, all of us. I really did not enjoy this transformation. But the other one, yeah, we'll be into that here in a little bit. The transformations got very complex so that the companies can meet our expectation of aesthetic. It's almost like, the bot has to be perfect. I'm actually okay with all modes being a little imperfect, but, some of the times getting both modes perfect is a horrendous transformation. With a lot of 25 tiny little parts that have to move to get the perfection and the gap fillers and all that. It's just a little too much sometimes. And yes, it kills the hobby. It is killing collecting because a lot of people don't want to transform it. I mean, I still believe 70% of collectors don't even transform it. If you don't even transform it, do you even want to watch that part of a review? Because I didn't back in the day. I didn't transform my stuff for many, many years, and I literally skipped past the transformation in every review. And yeah, the complicated, complex transformations make you enjoy your figure that much less, and I will stand by that with my Abaddon. Well, maybe there's one other issue that bothered me about it too. So next up, I guess we're looking at number 3? No, 4. Okay, we're on number 4 now. I don't do countdowns very well. The pre-order craziness that's going on, and we all are part of it. And I gotta say, I think it's gotten a little bit better, but the problem with it getting a little bit better is the fact that you don't know which one is gonna be that one pre-order that you should have been in front of your computer 30 seconds after it went up. You just have no idea. So if you really, really want something to be there 30 seconds, the second it goes up. But for the rest of it, I mean, like, look at the G.I. Joe Classified. Now, there's a whole lot of other factors to it, but none of the stuff sold out anywhere. The newest stuff, and I think that's just collectors. That's a plus. Good job, collectors, on that one. But still, Studio Series, like none of this stuff sold out yet. But then again, it's Gonna be on the list down the road. It's reissued stuff. Like, we've had all this stuff. Like, this is the newest stuff up for pre-order at BBTS, and we've had all this stuff. It's I don't know. Let's move on, because I got more to say about that. I don't want to ruin that segment yet. But then you look and you see that we're sold out at BBTS on some of the Fans Toys items. Some of them are sold out there. Now, that could be they don't order as many. BBTS might not order as many as, say, a TF Source or Shozi or Agabus maybe, or Chosen Primer, them places. But still, they're sold out. And a lot of people will like to point out that occasionally BBTS even beats Shozi on price. Not very often, but occasionally. And none of these here that are represented. Let's see if we can go one more over here. Here's Shozi. As you can see, a lot of their stuff's still up for pre-order, not sold out just yet, but some stuff is. And there was a time in 2020, 2021, and then 2022 started getting better, that everything was selling out in seconds, minutes. You got to be right in front of your computer to get these pre-orders. And there's nothing fun about that. I was actually gonna make a whole video about making fun of pre-orders. Like, yeah, I got the pre-order. Yeah, I'm so excited. Maybe in a year, I'm actually gonna get the item. And so the pre-order thing, you have to do it. It's part of the game you have to play. But collectors getting into it and pre-ordering it to where they all sell out, that was sucking. I think a lot of it was shady business with people buying 5 or 10, or I don't know how many they were buying to mess with this. And then the bots that were involved and all that. I mean, the people doing the bots, are they really collectors? I mean, you have to have a level of interest in it. Enough level of interest to know what's going on, right? And then when stuff sells out, like $209.99 for the Fans Toys Euclid is the price. I don't really know if that's... I would think Shozi's would be like $170, but I don't know. I can't quote. Don't quote me on that. It just still seems... I just feel like $209 on a combiner part limb is a little bit on the high side. Now, let's get into this reissue part. Now, we, as collectors, clamor for reissues. Like, oh, I missed that. I wish they could reissue this, reissue that. But a reissue is a full-on production run of an item that they could have made something else. And a lot of the stuff that's coming out is reissued. Now, look at the bottom there where you see Movie Studio Series Leader Class Dinobot Snarl. You see that, because I'm going to have another picture coming up that has Snarl in it too. I think it's one of the next ones, but it's just mind-blowing that people want all these reissues, and then they come out and they sit for a long time, and they clog up, but they take up a space of something new and fun that could have been made. Now, we have no control over that, but we do constantly complain about it. And then, like, you get into some of this stuff, yeah, it's sold out. But just look at the Commander class Ultra Magnus. Now, that was a good figure, and people clamored for it to reissue. It got reissued. It got reissued $10 more. So the companies know this. They understand this, and they kind of juice you for it. Just like Dinobots, now a $60 figure. When they originally put him out, he was a 50? Was he 50? $49.99 or something like that. But it's cool that they put him back out, but now he's going to sit. But then there's another aspect to this where collectors start buying up these ones that used to be like hard to find before the reissue, and then they buy them up, hoard them, and then wait for them to sell out, and then put them back up for the crazy price. The figures and characters that were popular and in high demand are always going to be popular and high demand. It's just when there's options at retail everywhere, people are not looking to pay any more than retail. And in fact, I believe, and it's my belief, I believe a lot of people are looking at this glut of stuff on the market and waiting for clearance. I do believe that's what's going on. I think the worst example of the reissues is, well, Bumblebee, but Galvatron. I think they did like 5 different Galvatrons, then they put them back out again. That's ridiculous. And of course, look up there with the Snarl. It's sold out. In fact, Snarl, I don't believe that one was sold out when they issued the reissue, it wasn't sold out. There are places that you can still get a Snarl, which that was the reason that blew my mind. Like, that one's the one they're reissuing. Shouldn't it be Slag that they reissue? But anyway, I'm not as up on the Hasbro stuff as I probably should be. But yeah, with all these reissues and clamoring for reissues, it does hurt the market because people want new stuff. And where do we usually voice our opinions about this? On social media. We go to sites and we complain in groups on Facebook and on social media, and just going straight to Hasbro and complaining on their videos or whatever you can do. I don't know. I really don't know how people communicate to Hasbro, but somehow Hasbro sees it, hears it, and does reissues instead of new figures. And we're going to see more and more of that. Now, I'm going to say this. A lot of people are happy about reissues, but more and more of it. So we take to social media. I think social media has a lot of positives to it, but lately it's been really negative for collecting. So how does it kill collecting? Well, in the early days, people were getting together and helping each other out and trading and selling and locating and hooking people up. But nowadays, it just seems to be a complain session. Like, people just want to complain. And this picture of the Mixmaster from Fans Toys is the greatest example of the most complaining I've seen in a while about something that I don't think's a big deal. It is a bit thin in the thigh, but from the front it looks fine. And with that, it's one of those weird things. Like, all day when this video dropped, people showing pictures of this and just complaining about it all day. It's not just that they said they didn't like it. It's multitude of people saying they're selling all their Fans Toys because that's unacceptable. And I'm like, I don't think it's that bad. Really, I don't. But that's just one example of many examples of social media killing collecting. And for the longest time, social media helped collecting. It brought people together. But now, I guess, with a combination of a lot of people that are on social media don't collect anymore. And, I mean, that's a big part of it. They don't collect anymore. So they want to take to the social media to, I don't know, maybe they're wanting to confirm their own bias about not collecting it anymore, or avoiding certain companies in a certain way. A lot of people want to bash X-Transbots or Fans Toys or even Takara, and that's something that we see on social media all the time. And it's toxic. It is. And does that kill collecting? Well, when the places you used to go and visit used to bring you joy for your hobby, and now this is what you get, a bunch of negativity over something that's really not that big of a deal, then yes, it's killing the hobby. Mike making a video about collectors killing the hobby, killing collecting, is killing the hobby. It's circular logic there. Okay. The next one is the constant demand for the same figure over and over and over. And the support for it. Now, I'm guilty of it. It's part of this is, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I wouldn't be having this many primes. And I actually think I've sold a few of these since then, but I can't guarantee any of that. But here's the thing. The Optimus Prime thing, the Spider-Man thing, the Wolverine thing. People are going to have 20 Batman figures. It is what it is. But when we constantly just keep seeing the same character over and over, it does get old. It does wear on you. You know, one of the comments I hear the most is that this is all just stuff that I already have. For the most part, none of it interests me. And that makes sense. I mean, who really wants to keep rebuying their collection over and over and over? And it does wear on it. So the fact that we continually support constantly making another Optimus Prime every week, and it's every week. It is every week there's another Optimus Prime. It's either announced or showing up. Every single week there's an Optimus Prime. Bumblebee, it was like Bumblebee all the time. Now that's kind of on the back burner. We got a new Bumblebee coming out, but not as much as we've seen in the past. But Optimus Prime, obviously the top #1 character of all the Transformers, Optimus Prime, and he's going to get a lot of love, but it does kind of wear on other collectors, and they just kind of get tired of it. Now, you guys might think a lot of what I'm saying is petty and silly, and no. This is where it all comes together. I guess it's number 8 on my list here. The kids are not getting into Transformers and other toy lines like ours, the 80s kind of stuff, as much as they used to. They still are, just at a much smaller degree and a smaller level. And here is why. Here's a big part of why. Kids can't afford these things. The price is just too dang high. For all of the reasons that now Hasbro is really catering to the collector. And obviously, Fans Toys Next Transbots caters to the collector. What 12-year-old kid is going to get a Shockwave for $43? I had it in my hand. I was considering buying it for my son for Christmas and holding on to it. And I still put it down. I said, I'll get it at Target cheaper. And of course, it sold real fast because another adult collector came in, grabbed it, bought it. Kids aren't getting $43 Shockwaves that are 6-7 inches tall. I mean, that's half of a bill. That's almost $50 to get that. It looks great. Nowhere near worth. It is $30 max. Nowhere near worth $43.50 after tax. Kids can't afford that. Kids probably are just getting tired of seeing the G1 stuff rehashed over and over and over. You know, one of the things that I have learned over the years, I learned it from myself, that kids want their own thing. They want their own era. They want to have something that reminds them of their childhood, not something that reminds them of ours. And the fact that we, the G1ers, continue to demand G1 product, and that's what sells itself. It sells as much, if not more, than absolutely everything else. It still is getting a bigger representation, and nothing that's really coming out. The Transformers 1 stuff, it's out there, but we're not getting any new Transformer 1 stuff because it's just not popular enough. Now I'll say this, kids aren't buying Fans toys, but even the mainline stuff's getting a little more complex. More complex so it looks better in both modes and all that kind of stuff. But kids don't want to work that hard at transforming. When we were a kid, it was 6 steps in less than 30 seconds. And I tried to see if I can get it done down to 5-second transformations. It was a lot easier. This ultra complex environment, kids don't really want that. And I know it got really bad in the Bayverse era. And I think the alternators were really... That was an adult targeted line anyway. But it got really bad for complexity for a while. I will say it's kind of bounced back a little bit, but it's still on the complex side for a 5-year-old kid. How many kids have a pre-order list? How many kids have 6 Transformers on pre-order? Absolutely none of them that I know of. I mean, the only kids that I know that have stuff on pre-order is me pre-ordering stuff for my kids that they said they wanted. That's it. And I doubt very many parents are like, "Oh, little Johnny, would you like me to pre-order this Shockwave for you? Notice they got the Snarl in stock. Would you like that too?" No. Pre-order your $50 figure. You must be out of your mind, little Johnny. We're not doing that for you. Do you think kids are excited about paying $10 for more? $10 more for reissued Ultra Magnus. Well, that's the Christmas gift. That and an iPhone. That's their Christmas gift. That's not something you're getting because it's Tuesday. You got an A on your report card. No. Kids aren't getting this. And the reissue stuff, it's just more of the same. And really, they probably aren't even interested in it. It's like, didn't we see that 3 years ago? When you were a kid, when I was a kid, and when I saw the same old Star Wars figure, Obi-Wan Kenobi, come back out on the Power of the Force card, I was actually mad that it was coming back out. It's like, how stupid do you think we are? It's already out for the Star Wars Empire and Jedi. Now it's on Power of the Force. That's 4. And Chewbacca. Like, I'm not buying these. Well, I wish I would have, because those coins are worth like 50 or 60 bucks each. Most kids aren't influenced by Facebook or even my videos. Most kids are influenced by TikTok. And this stuff ain't on TikTok. So social media, they do watch YouTubers. They do. They watch videos. Probably not so much of mine. But they do. And with that, they do get some sort of influence through watching, say, I would venture to say that Prime versus Prime has a lot of younger audience because he does talk a lot about the Hasbro stuff, which is more accessible to kids. But with that, kids don't have a huge social media presence when it comes to this kind of stuff. They do when it comes to like TikTok and sort of, it's kind of like goofy random stuff. Or at least that's my experience based on my kids. Kids don't want the same exact figure to just show back up. I've already got an Optimus Prime. I don't need another Optimus Prime. I'm not excited for another Optimus Prime. I don't need another Optimus Prime. But then, you know, they come and all they get are the scraps because we, the collectors, showed up and got the good stuff. And the kids, by the time they're going on their trip with their grandma to the toy aisle, there's nothing good left. And, you know, when I went to the toy aisle as a kid, there weren't adults buying up all the good stuff. There were a few, but they weren't after it the way we are. So, yeah, we are kind of killing it for the next generation. All right, so do I want to make this video to be negative? No, I don't. I just want to put all this stuff in perspective. When you do these things, when you have these behaviors, start thinking about it. Think about what do our behaviors do to contribute to the downfall of collecting, and what could we do to contribute to the positives. Now, one of the things that I've been doing is I've actually done a few toy shows here in Oklahoma, and I give out my stuff for next to nothing. That's the goal of the toy show, to get rid of bulk stuff for cheap. A lot of times, no, not this stuff. A lot of times I have gotten rid of stuff for half of what I paid. It just is what it is, and it's people they're happy about it. Like, I think that helps the community. The toy show kind of stuff, the collector one-on-one, the hooking people up and that kind of stuff. Now I do that locally. I do that because it's real easy, real fast and easy. I like seeing people smiles on their face and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, that's one thing. The other thing is I try to be positive. You know, we can be positive about things like smashing and slamming. Is it slamming or smashing the old Fans toys because his leg is thin? That's the best example I could find. I mean, I'm sure you guys could find 50 examples and put them in the comments below of when people are just being unnecessarily negative. But the reality is that many of our own personal behaviors are hurting the hobby, killing the hobby, and that's just a fact. Can we change it? I doubt it'll get changed. I doubt much of anything will change. The only thing that's going to change is as we start to kind of die off less of that behavior, and the market shrinks, and that's even worse. So that's a whole different conversation for a different day. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Have you noticed these behaviors having a negative impact on collecting? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Let's have a great weekend. Tydirium Hanger out.